Dad knew about the freight train because so many stories. But he started coming over to our house when he was 16 years old.
She was 14.
Yeah. Maybe we should tell how we met.
That'd be a good one.
Because I was 13 and he was 15. We met two
What-
weeks,
What's the year?
1960.
And
I was
where?
walking down the hall.
Where did you meet?
Loretta High School,
Okay.
Loretta,
I'm
Tennessee.
walking down the hall at Loretta High School with one of my friends.
What grade are you both in?
I just started high school. I was a freshman. He was a junior.
Anyway, bam, I got hit on the head hard. This girl hit me with her purse. It had cold cream or something in the purse. Bam. And I turned around and I knew the girl who hit me. Her name was Mary DeShawn, lived over there close to West Point. And she was with her. And I saw her. So I just walked up and grabbed her by the head of the hair on the head, whatever. Just grabbed her and turned around and said, "Why did you hit me?" Well, she says, I didn't hit you. But
You grabbed her.
I grabbed her by the hair.
Not knowing me at all.
But I was wanting to know you. And
It worked.
turned her around and said, "Why did you hit me?" She said, No. And that other girl, I think, just kind
Ran
of
off.
stayed out of it.
Yeah, she ran off.
But anyway, that's the way we met.
Caveman style.
Yeah.
You grabbed her by the hair like a caveman.
He did.
Exactly.
He did.
Showed her who was boss.
Yeah.
And,
thought.
and boss.
You thought. Didn't scare me too bad though, did it?
No.
So that's 2 weeks after I started high school. I was 13, he was 15. We were about to have our birthdays. His in October and mine in November, but anyway.
But to back up a little bit, in February of that year, my dad had died. And so I was
Grieving still. Yeah.
but anyway, when I met her, my dad was already passed away.
Yeah.
And
So you never got to meet him.
He died about 4 or 5 months before. He died in February
February the
1960.
4th, February the 4th, 1960. But anyway, we got to talking and walking around in school. And
That's my dryer buzzer. Ignore it. Okay. Yeah, he started coming up to my homeroom and meeting
Help
me.
him get his thought back.
Okay. Meeting me, walking around at school.
that was my thought.
Yeah, that's your thought. You got it now. Go with it.
You were telling us.
Anything else?
Well, we walked around at school until it was coming summertime, and so we wasn't going to be able to see one another during the summer. And is that when I went to Seattle?
No, it was the next summer that you went to
Okay.
Seattle.
But that right before the summer, her parents agreed that I could come to see her from 1 to 5 Sunday afternoon.
And that's it.
That's it. And it definitely wasn't 5:01. It definitely wasn't 11:59. It's 1 to 5. Her daddy made that real clear to me, by the way. So I went over there on Sunday afternoons for a year, I guess. I don't remember when they started letting me take you.
Well, I was 14 and a half. So, yeah, probably about a year.
About a year it went on like that, and then
Then we double dated with Shirley and Roy
very,
Perry, Shirley Daughtry and Roy Perry, who later married and now live in Lawrenceburg. So, yeah, I had no idea that I would get to go with him because Daddy had always said that his girls couldn't date till they were 16, and I was young. But
She felt sorry for me because none of the girls over at West Point liked me.
ha ha ha, that is not true. He's the only one I ever dated, but he can't say that I'm the only one he ever dated. But of course, he didn't date them very long and very, very many because he started dating me when he was 16 years old and never dated anybody else, as far as I know. So, but anyway, Daddy had met Bob I told him he had to go up and shake Dad's hand for me to get to walk around the fairgrounds. And so he did. And Daddy, by that time my daddy was working for TVA too, in a different capacity than Granddad, but they both knew people from West Point. Men had worked with men from West Point. So they investigated Bob and were told that for West Point boys, he was one of the better ones.
But there wasn't no good ones over there.
It had a rough reputation at the time. So anyway.
Was it still a mining town?
It was not a mining town at that point, but it had been full-blown iron ore mining town up until 1900.
Right.
Had been the county seat for a while.
And I mean, it had hotels and banks, but they took the railroad out and shut the mine down, and it was just a farming community when I grew up. Had cotton gin,
Yeah.
biggest thing it had, but well, that's the way we got our shoes for the school. Went and picked cotton, got money, went and bought our shoes to go back to school, went barefoot up until that point. And she was talking about drawing water. There was nobody in West Point had running water. They all just had wells and outhouses. And then they brought the outhouse in-house, and that wasn't very healthy, but the first house that got running water in it, Daddy put running water in my mother's parents' house in about 1949 or 50, I guess.
In West Point?
In West Point.
Is that when y'all were living there?
Yes.
Is that the Reese house?
No, it's where Rebecca lived.
Oh, that's right.
That's anyway, then he built our house a year later up on the hill there. By
What
the
year?
1950. And
Built it himself?
well, he hired a guy who had never done that before, and they told him what to do. But he basically built it himself and then finished himself, did a lot of the work himself. But he never finished it. He was working on it up until the day he died, but let's see. He was his father's parents were from Sweden, and they migrated over here about 1900. He was born in 1903, and they lived out in the Midwest, and his dad died, like Jackie said earlier, I think, at 56. And him and his mother lived, I think, in Minnesota for a while, but Axtell, Nebraska is kind of where the Swedes migrated to, the Nelsons. You've been there. And he worked in Denver. That's where he was working. He ran a laundry, and then he worked for Standard Oil. And then he ran a laundry. He'd work till he just got down to 140 pounds or something. He just worked himself to death. But then he'd have to quit and then recover and go get another job and work himself now. And at the point in time, he was working for my granddaddy's sister selling real estate in Denver. And my mother,
What year?
1934 or 5 in there. But my mother's daddy was out there working for his sister because he couldn't get work back here.
William Kelly.
William E. Edward Kelly, yeah. And he picked Rebecca out to come out and hook up with Daddy. So he, I guess, paid for Rebecca and Mother to come out there on the train. And Daddy knew they was coming, and he went down and watched them get off the train. He went home and told his mother that he saw his wife get off, his future wife, get off that.
And it wasn't at Rebecca. So that's how
It was Mother.
he picked out your mama.
From a distance, that's her. But, you know, he'd heard all about her from her daddy.
She was a pretty lady.
She had a sense of humor.
But, of course, Daddy was living with his mother, and then Mother moved in. I don't think Mother cooked. She just read books and stuff.
She had 2 older sisters.
Yeah.
So.
But anyway, I think Daddy's mother was an excellent cook. She kind of got on to Mother because she couldn't cook. Tried to teach her how to cook. Well, they wound up not getting along well. And Mother told Daddy, said, well, either her or me, one's got to leave. So Daddy rented her, his mother, another apartment or something. Moved her out. And
You, Ann, and Betty were born in Denver?
me and Ann and Betty were born in Denver,
While your dad was doing what?
selling real estate.
Okay.
He bought all the houses we were born in. He bought, fixed them up and sold them, bought, fixed up and sold it.
Right.
But we was born in 1940, 1942, 44, and Betty Bob in Denver. And then in about 45, not sure why, but we moved back to Tennessee, moved to Tennessee. And Daddy bought a house that had an attached grocery store and ran that for a while
Where in Tennessee?
in Lawrenceburg, Tennessee. And that wasn't but about a year or so.
Do you remember the name of the store?
I do not. But then I moved to West Point and lived upstairs at William Edward Kelly's house, his my grandfather. And his sister, Sarah Rice, and Daddy Kelly and Daddy opened a drugstore.
Do you remember the name?
Yep. There was Rice, Kelly, and Olson, so they call it the RKO drug
In Lawrenceburg.
in Lawrenceburg, about half a block off the square going north on North Military. And they ran that store until I think she wanted her money out of it, so they had to sell it and shut it down. And Daddy went to work for a drugstore in Loretto, Dotson drugstore. And that's where it got ugly. But he was working for this guy, and
Let's do that story separate. Okay, thank you.